the capital state to represent a wide area around Fairbanks, including much of interior Alaska, almost all the way to Anwar, as I understand. Click, maybe you could just explain briefly what your district covers and what communities. It's a pretty huge area.
It is. District C, Senate District C is very large. Briefly, if you look at the Canadian border between Alaska and the Yukon, I go almost to Tidewater and all the way above the Brooks Range into part of Anwar. I go west all the way over to the Kycook River and down to the Yukon and then down the Richardson Highway all the way to the Edgerton Cutoff and to the actually past Chittenden to the $1 Million Bridge and from the old Kennecott days. And it's a huge district and I enjoy it. It fits me like a T.
So it's like when you, in the interim or when you do constituent meetings, how do you try to get around to every community or how do you travel? But
as much as I got money for it, a charter, because I have to either go by boat or fly, or I have snow machined to places like Rampart and Tanana, and then we fly to other communities. And then with COVID in the last 2 years, you know, we just haven't traveled, being respectful of the different tribes and their isolation policies.
So, Click, does your district reach up to the North Slope? It includes parts of Anwar. Does it include Kaktovik, for example?
No, that's Senator Olson. I go above Arctic Village into the Brooks Range. Yep.
Yeah, well, that's mining territory, which brings me to a question I've always wanted to ask you. I understand you still run a gold mine in the summertime when you're not down in Juneau mining the treasury. What's it like to run a gold? It's a placer operation, obviously, but what is it like to do that?
Oh, yes, it is. It's it's a mom and pop typical small miner operation, you know, and there used to be around, my numbers might be a little stale, but there used to be around about 340 small mom and pop operations in the state that contribute, over $100 million in direct and indirect costs to the state just in goods and services. So there's a lot of us. I'm on the lower scale, you know, because this is, you know, I'm a third generation mining in my family, going all the way back to the California gold rush. So I've definitely got it in my genes, and you know, I never knew that I was going to come to Juneau and whatnot. And I had been working my whole professional career, setting myself up to go and placer mine in my retirement years, and so I haven't got to do that much of it, other than, you know, I do go out, I work as much as I can when my job allows me to do it, and I am looking forward to the day when I can go out and put the whole summer together without having to transition to town for a meeting and those types of things. But it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that we like. You know, my wife's family, I mean, her great grandfather, he made the discovery, John Manook, in Rampart in 1896, first Alaska Native inducted into the Miners Hall of Fame. So her and I got it on both ends in our genetics. So we like it. We like the lifestyle. The grandkids enjoy it. You know, family and friends come out on the weekends, and, you know, to get out of town and hang out and, you know, just enjoy a relaxed lifestyle. It is a good lifestyle. And you know, Tim, you know, I ran an apprenticeship program before I ever came to Juneau as an operating engineer, and when I used to interview kids for positions and look at their resumes, and the ones that typically you could pretty much bank on, that grew up working on a family gold mine, worked in agriculture business in the state, grew up in the village. Um, you could pretty much bank that they were going to be a good asset, because, at a mine, you, we like to say, refer to it as put a miner's fix on it. When something goes down, or if you don't have that part, you do what you can to make it work until you can get to NC to get parts, or those types of things. Typically, you try to do all your maintenance in the winter, so when you do have your summer season in front of you, that you're in production as much as you can with the least amount of downtime. Because if you're working on your equipment in the summer and not putting rocks through the box, you're not making any money.
So Click, where,
And
where is it? Is it up the Steves Highway? I'm sorry,
oh,
up toward
and
Liebig?
we're west of Fairbanks, close to the village of Tanana. We're about 20 air miles from Tanana, and yeah, it's an area that I know well. I mean, a friend of mine, he was raised out there. His folks mined that piece of ground that we now have under lease, and yeah, it's west of Fairbanks, 20 miles from Tanana.
Is there still plenty of gold in the rocks out there? Can you do pretty?
I Yeah, my wife wants to know when I'm finally going to be able to pay for some of my fun, and I keep showing her these drill sheets. If I could just get the time, it's there. I got drill sheets. I got drilled ground, and mineable ground, especially, today's prices. You got ground that's you couldn't mine at $600, but at $1,900 you can mine. It's just, it's a commodity. It's like anything, but
Yeah.
I got ground that with some decent reserves on them. I do.
So I guess what my is behind my question is, how is it a sustainable for a lot of families running placer operations? Is this a sustainable economy? I mean, can they make a living and keep their families with a good livelihood?
Oh yeah, yes, that answer is yes. You know, uh, it, there are some really, really good operators that have got this placer mining down to a science. And from an efficiency standpoint, the least amount of employees, at least amount of equipment, efficiency, 100% recovery, recycle on their water, and zero discharges. And it's the answer is yes. I will say that again, it goes back to being successful. The first thing you want to look for optimally is to quote an old timer, Tony Lanning from Manly Hot Springs, is shallow ground, and that's ground that's the shallower the better, the least amount of overburden, your strip ratio, the better. And the next thing is you want to prospect and spend a lot of time prospecting. I'm prospecting another property right now, just getting started, but we might take 2 years to do the due diligence that needs to be done. So good equipment, good camp, do your homework, do your due diligence, read everything you can read on the property, all your USGS reports, and then prospect the heck out of it. And you got to, and then be honest with yourself when you are doing your prospecting. And yeah, it's a great lifestyle, if that's what you're into, and that's equipment's all I've ever known. And like I said, I've got it in my generation, my family, all the way back to the California Gold Rush. So,
Well, that would be a fascinating topic for another talk. Well, Click, it's part of Alaska's history, and but as you describe, it's very much still part of our present. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining us today. It's been interesting. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.